there that think that life groups might be a good idea, but taking that step to join one, you need a why. So maybe tell us just what life group you're a part of, why you decided to join.
Well, we had been visiting. I'm Kathy Gregory. What group? We started out with the Brain Nines group, and then that branched, and the Crosbys and the Young Fingers, Kimberly and Nick took it over, and we are in the Crosbys group.
Yeah. And why did you join a life group? Be real too. It could have been somebody forced you, because we do know that your children are your life group. I'm just saying it helps. Honesty helps. Whatever the reason, you share it with us.
The truth is, my daughter said Friday night she'll be going to life group, and we'll be in our life group, and that is the truth. But we are so happy we did that. That worked out for us really well.
Yeah. Anything to add?
Well, we had during the COVID years, when first everything was so awful, and then we decided to make the move down here, and we had been visiting a little bit and met people, life group. It was such a kind of a haven in the big storm, and it continued to be through COVID's and the big change of moving.
Yeah, I don't think that's a small deal, the fact that there's a smaller group of people that when unexpected things hit, and what more unexpected than COVID, to have a small group of people that you're already clinging to, that you already know well. I think that's so good. And in that light, one of the goals of Life Group is to know and be known. Does that make sense? To know people more deeply than really we have the opportunity to on Sunday morning, and to be known. But that can be beautiful, that can be messy. So maybe just tell us a story of why you believe it's worth it to enter into that space, to know and be known. How have you seen it be worth it to know and be known on that level?
Well, one thing I think, is, at church it's great to visit, but it's just short minutes or everything's noisy. But there we have time to really share deeply.
Yes. Pastor,
Blake knows how to talk.
I wish you would have given us time to prepare.
That's longer than my sermon.
I'll tell you, one of the questions was about laughing in life group, and our life group every November after Thanksgiving would go up Christmas tree hunting, and this last year was no exception. And our life group, how many of us was there? 30?
Yeah.
And we're all up Blewett Pass, and we all got $5 tree permits, and we're cutting them down and all that. And we went up and looking for the perfect tree. We'd done this 3 years in a row, and off in the distance, and the snow was up to our waist this year. And I remember off in the distance I saw the perfect tree, and I had my grandkids with me because they didn't want me to get lost or anything or collapse in the snow. So we went up and I saw it, and it literally glowed like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And walked up to it, and I thought, this is it. Cut it down, and I thought, this just seems heavier than most of the trees. And so we hauled it back, and my grandkids were complaining all the way how heavy it was. Well, there comes Joel down the mountain, and he's got a knife in his mouth that he had used to whittle his tree down. And then I saw Banyan leading the Fingers group, and in a very steady march down the mountain with their perfect little tree. And then I saw the Brain Nines, of course, they were singing Christmas carols and bringing their tree down. And everybody was laughing, having a good time. Then they saw our tree. And it was 8 feet tall, and it was 9 feet wide. It was absolutely, all the other trees looked like they snuck out and went to a tree lot and bought the trees. We did that. But I'll tell you, we had so much fun. And Joel called me on the way home. We had it on the top of Daniel's car. And he said they just laughed the whole way because it looked like it was going to take off. And just one more thing if I could. We formed the Silver Gang in our group. And if you can guess, that's for the more mature people in our group. And we have had so much fun together. We've camped together. We've done some things. So Life Group has been just an absolutely great time.
One more question. Either one of you can answer. But how has being a part of Life Group and all that goes on there, how has that stirred your affections for Jesus? How has that grown you in your love for the Lord? Blake.
I have a really, really easy answer to that one. I have had two really good friends in high school, and we played football together. That was over 50 years ago, by the way. And we played high school together. We played high school together, and played football together, and we did all the things crazy teenagers do. And one of my friends we lost touch with, and probably 5-6 years ago, I found him on Facebook, so looked him up. And the thing is, he was not a believer, and I got my life group praying for him. And so we got closer and closer, and they were praying for him every week. And people would come up to me, even people in the church would come up, how's he doing? And I'm not going to use his name. But approximately 2 years ago, his fiancée passed away, lived in Reno, and went down for the funeral, and he was angry at God. He was so angry. And the life group even prayed harder and harder. And about a year ago, he decided to move to Ellensburg. He didn't have any really family around or anything, so he wanted to know somebody, so he moved to be closer to us. And long story short, we invited him. I said, you're going to life group? And he actually went. He accepted our invitation. And I said, you're going to church? And he accepted our invitation. And it was so cool to see him here each week. And he made several pretty good friends in our life group. And a couple months ago, probably 3 months ago, had a phone conversation with the three of us, the three from high school. And he was very angry at God. He was angry. He was mad. And he couldn't understand why God took his fiancée away. And it was a horrible phone call. And I remember getting off it, and I told Kathy, I said, not good. And anyway, Friday, a couple days later, Friday at life group, I told my life group, I said, I give up. I don't know what else I don't think it's going to happen. And the life group literally got in my face and said no. And they prayed for Rob, and they prayed hard, and they prayed, and they prayed. Sunday morning, on Sunday, right over here, I think we had a tree. He says, can I have my picture? I took his picture, and he had the biggest smile I've ever seen. And he said, Blake, I was reading my Twitter feed, and across came a Bible verse. I wish I could remember what it was, but he said, I'm all in. He became a Christian.
Amen.
This is just after a couple of days when I was ready to give up, and God came knocking about.
Blake, Kathy, thank you. What a powerful story. And your story will not be that story, but God has a story for you in community. And so I'd encourage you, if you're not yet part of a life group or not fully in with a life group, talk to me. Talk to Blake and Kathy. And we would love to help you get connected. Thank you, guys.